Hey everybody, welcome back once again to Edgington, the city on the edge, here in wonderful Timberstone 1.52. So we have just gotten word of another trader coming in today, and hopefully this one actually has something to like show for the effort, because last one gave us bubbagus. Diddly squat. But for the time being, well, except for the 3 different skeletons embedded under the ground, the mainland is actually doing pretty well. So, no worries there. And we have now just added a bunch more stockpiles, so we shouldn't have any trouble with that for a fair while. Geez, we've got over 2,000, like, capacity there. Everything else is kind of backing up a little bit, which is worrying. Wheat has been turned off, but it looks like we're okay for now. Okay, this looks like the moment. So, there. Off you go. And yes. Oh. There's a few chickens on the continent that I want to grab. The trouble is actually getting someone to go and do it. Believe it or not, that's actually a bit of a pain. But anyways, our subject this time around, once again, sourced from the Discord, is would I travel into space or to another planet? And if so, why? Now, the greater question here, I guess, is why would I want to travel to a planet, and would I personally do it? Now, here's something I've said, that if they could get decent internet, on Mars, for example, and bear in mind, at Mars, you're 8 light minutes away, which means there's an 8 minutes signal delay minimum between Earth and Mars. So if I was to, for example, stream something, here on Earth, it's about a 20-second delay for my signal to reach Twitch and then get bounced to everybody else, and then for me to see them register it in the chat. The chat is, I think, much faster and less delay, but video is a bit more troublesome. If that were to be on Mars, it'd be even worse. It would be over 8 minutes. In fact, let's just assume for the sake of argument it would be 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Now that's for it to actually reach Earth. It would take another 8 minutes for it to actually come back, so we're actually looking at somewhere in the region of over a quarter of an hour. So live streaming from Mars is probably not going to be a viable thing. If I was to, like, set up operations on Mars, I would probably have to give up live streaming. Really? Really, sir? Really? We have this lovely place, and you're just gonna come here and waste our time? Really? You and your donkey? Right, well, sorry once again, Aeneas, for wasting your time utterly and completely. Back to fishing. At least you're almost at, like, you're getting close to top level on that, so that's something. But assuming that there was not some kind of mandated rationing of internet bandwidth, I want to say I would probably be able to stream content. Like, you'd probably be able to watch Netflix, I want to say. If you like, it depends on how Netflix works. If it sends a signal and then registers continue sending video data to you, then I might be able to manage Netflix. But I would, unless there was rationing of bandwidth, such as was the case during the Sitch, I would still be able to, like, upload videos and such. Multiplayer gaming would have to be restricted to stuff we could do on Mars, I think. But you get the sort of idea here. So I would absolutely love to go to Mars and to other planets as well. Maybe not as the first generation of people, maybe not as, like, the pioneers who are having to set everything up, because I think they would be much better qualified people for me, like, for that than me. But that would be really cool, and it's sort of a similar thing I have with living in a remote location. I would love, like, a house in the country, but getting actual decent internet there is a massive pain. Not as bad as Mars, but rough. So would I want to go to another world? Sure, that would be really cool. Like, think of the drone footage I could get or something. It's just, like, really cool idea. And also, it's impossible not to think of going to another world or into space in a sort of historical perspective. Because being among the first few generations to live on Mars is something that's going to be in the books. That's something that won't be forgotten very easily. You might not be like on a short list. Like, I think it's maybe 24 or so people have set foot on the moon, but it would need to be hundreds of people to actually colonize Mars and stuff. So you might not be the name that everyone knows. You probably wouldn't be the Neil Armstrong or the Buzz Aldrin or that kind of thing, or the Michael Collins even. But, you know, it'd still be in the book, and it'd be awesome. So I'd love that. And also going into space. Going into deep space especially, because if you're going into deep space, there's a couple possibilities. Either you are in a generational ship, or you are in some really high-tech cryo situation, or you're partially cybernetic, partially or completely possibly cybernetic, and that's something that I'm definitely up for. I am very up for becoming cybernetic. As soon as that becomes a thing, like the first USB port to your nervous system, I am getting it. I am in line for that. So, yeah, heck yeah, I'd want to go to space. Heck yeah, I'd want to go to another planet. That'd be so cool. Like, people like to brush off space exploration a bunch of ways, saying, we know more about the surface of Mars than we do about our own oceans. Or we know more about the surface of a dozen different planets than we do our own oceans. Yeah, here's the reason for that. Oceans are freaking hard to investigate. Like, do you know how hard it was to land the SUV-sized rover on Mars? Yeah, diving to the bottom of the ocean is even harder. And there's a lot of it. We can see through atmosphere. That's why we know what's, like, in the atmosphere. We know what the surface looks like. We can't see into the oceans. Just like, every time I see that kind of excuse, I'm always face-palming. Internally and or externally. Occasionally both. So, yeah, I know there's a lot of really cool places to live on Earth, but there are places where no one has ever lived on other planets and in the depths of space. Plus, if you are in a spaceship, there are presumably, like, access terminals and USB ports and all sorts everywhere. Like, the amount of connectivity involved would be glorious. Like, I am happy because I recently just got a tablet that I can carry around with me. Like, being able to plug in stuff wherever I go around an entire, like, habitat would be so cool for me. So glorious, I love that. Like, it would no longer be a case of having opportunities to escape my desk. It would be anywhere is my desk, anywhere I choose, and that'd be glorious for me. But I digress slightly. So that's why I would go into space, I guess. As for would I? Sure. Like, I absolutely would. It's currently... I'm going to slightly touch on politics right now, so I apologize for those of you who are trying to escape it. But as things continue to get worse in the world, I have contemplated the notion of finding an unoccupied portion of international territory and founding what I've jokingly referred to as Nation McNation Face. Because memes, y'all. How are we doing up here? I presume we could have gotten rid of most of these by now. Let's... Oh, another merchant. Is he actually going to buy something or sell something this time? Just mark these stumps for removal so they don't cause a problem. Chop sapling. Chop sapling. Because if we don't, they turn into those saplings, is what happens. Everywhere else looks good. Okay. Where's this merchant then? Same road. Is this just the same merchant every single freaking time? What is going on here? Okay, where's an S? There's trip. There's an S. Okay, just gonna keep you on my bar there. Hey. But yeah, I've contemplated founding Nation McNation Face. The only thing that's, like... Honestly, the only thing that massively concerns me with that is... I'd have no internet. Like... there are fairly distraught or low economic countries that have issues getting internet, or good internet at least. But there are also some big countries that have trouble with that. For example, England. England's telecommunications network is balls old and monopolized, so consequently it's massively hard to upgrade it. But we are getting there very, very, very slowly. But if I started a new country, then there's nothing. There's no buildings, there's no heat, there's no food, there's no economy, there's no politics established, no laws, and no fiber optic broadband. Which I don't know if I actually technically still have, but nonetheless. No internet to speak of whatsoever. So if I was on Mars, I would actually probably have a better chance of continuing my profession, even if I would have to give up live streaming. Compared to Nation McNation Face, where I wouldn't be able to do anything for probably a few months. And I would be part of the founding charter. I'd be busy. That's like stuff you want to document. So I guess at that point I just strap the GoPro to my head and bring along a heck load of SD cards. And just edit after that. But we'd probably set up an internal network first, and then we'd try and get... People wonder if anyone would be remotely interested in talking to Nation McNation Face as it was being settled, and I pretty much guarantee you there would be at least one major ISP, one major internet service provider, who would jump at the chance of having a, foot on the ground floor of a new nation. Especially one with, lofty ideals and goals and such. There's almost no doubt in my mind that that would be totally a thing that somebody would be up for being. But, who knows? Oh, level up trader. So I guess you do level up even if you're not actually getting any trades. For whatever reason. Are we out of mining? Because I see my miners sitting around. Guess we are. Okay. Let's get a new mine up and running then, shall we? Dig mine. Okay, we'll grab 2 there. And all the way up here. There. Stone hoe has broken? Oh dear. How are we for coal right now, by the way, since we are currently burning... No, we have no coal at all. Need tongs to work the forge. Well, we can make stone tongs. Let's add 25 of that to our queue, shall we? And do we have anything for Resender to be up to? No. Oh, we have a trade! Willing to give us 7 wood logs and sure, why not? We've established that your work is actually meaningless to us, but you know. We have plenty of cloth. Can we make more cloth armor in that case? Oh, we can make a piece of leather. Whoop, free rope it. Okay, that's a deal, sure. We can make a piece of leather, and then let's add 5 cloth to the list as well. But no, he's actually trading this time. And we're still on the crafting of brick. Good. How are we doing over here? We're sort of working our way through it in a... Not in a meaningful fashion, but we should be back to being 100% self-sufficient over here in no time. I think. Oh, another bronze pickaxe. Really? What is going on with our bronze picks? Why are we losing so many of them? Come on. Okay, we have 1 in stock at least. Bronze is now pretty much reserved entirely for high-end tools, because we're not putting steel into very much yet. Speaking of steel, how are we doing for it? We have got 7 steel. Okay. What is the next thing I want to make? Was there a shield? It's made out of iron. Okay, well let's add a shield to our list. And then let's add a steel cuirass. And steel boots. Okay. This will be after those 25 stone tongs get built, of course, so... and I think we can get rid of that mining stockpile now. Yep, I know they're high enough. I'd be amazed if they weren't. Is that the last one that's up here on service? Looks like it. Good. Good, good, good. And it is dusk. So the day is coming to an end. But let me see, like... Nation McNation face. There's a whole slew of legal challenges that come with that, because, unfortunately, I live at an era where the world has been explored pretty much 100%, so what I'm looking for, if I was to found a new nation, would be, areas that people have abandoned, people have forgotten about, and people have no interest in, and especially areas that have multiple jurisdiction. Reason being, if it's multiple jurisdiction, there's at least an argument about who gets to do what to us. But, yeah, Witchy's level up, hooray. It's a complicated situation, and that's part of why it's usually better to try and fix the country that you're in than to go off making another one, but I think it's kind of reaching the point where I'd kind of prefer that. And Samara's level up, hooray. Yeah, just slowly working on that. Plenty more break where that came from, eventually. I'm looking at what's pick. Good. Oh, hey. Chick. Herd. Me. Oh. Let me think. Is there anywhere in particular I'd like to go? Well, there's a question. Would I prefer to go into deep space or to another planet? I think another planet. I think I prefer another planet, and not just because there would be the potential of an actual stable internet signal. Like, if I actually went... Are you one of ours? Garrett Ravenwood. Yes, you're one of ours. Going to sleep. Okie doke. No newbies yet, it seems. None that I can see, anyways. Maybe we'll get somebody in the night. Who knows? Are you... Heard. How are we going through that, anyways? Still on the stone tongs. I presume our blacksmith is on that as well. The plume! The light plume! Oh gods. But, got a bunch of carpenters up here. Ain't doing much, because they don't really have much to do. Is how Taylor seriously finished all that work? Wow, that didn't take very long. Okay, make another 10 cloth then. 246 fiber. Make it 20 cloth, jeez. And then from that, we can make even more tunics. That will hopefully be sufficient for the time being. What are you wearing, Clover? You're not wearing anything, in the armor sense. Neither is Wolfram. Neither is Trip. So yeah, we clearly need more of these cloth tunics. There's still not enough. I wish I had a readout of how many we actually had, like, verbatim, like, in grand total, as opposed to just looking around and hoping to find somebody, like the first person that woke up. No, you're wearing a cloth tunic. Quite a stylish one, you're the tailor. As are you, okay. Yeah, a few people, but we need to get that up to 100% at least. And then we can replace it with leather tunic, and then that will be everybody with a minimum of armor, which would be good. Are you wearing any armor? No, you're not wearing. So yeah, again, another case. But, I have to get there first. But yeah, I would prefer to be on, like, a planet. Because a planet you can walk around, you can explore, you can tinker with the technology that is at your disposal and all sorts. You can watch civilization grow before you on a day-to-day basis. Whereas on a spaceship of some description, traveling out into the vast unknown, depending on exactly how you're doing that, if you're cybernetic, you might be awake. If you're a generational ship, you're definitely awake, but you're just sort of going about your business for the most part. But for the most part, you're just staring out the window looking at fun stuff until you get to something happening. So it's definitely important to be a pioneer on a spaceship, but there's more, like, eminent stuff to do if you're actually on a planet. So that's the thing I prefer. Level 18 blacksmith. Luna is doing well. Luna is actually nearing top level, which is grand to see. And there's Rafe coming in. Probably should have guessed because they have a torch. But people are off to beds. We have a lot of carpenters now. I'm probably going to need to come up with something for the carpenters to do. Maybe making more walls and stuff. But maybe that'll have to wait until we've actually got this segment of road finished off. Which we're still working on, so... Anyways, I think that is enough for one episode, so... Let me know in the comments what you would do. If you, like, would you choose to go into space or to another planet, and why? But other than that, hope you've enjoyed. And from our pioneers over here in Edgington, catch you all